my friend, it's Pat Sloan here on this Monday with our owls. Today is the last day of the owl quilt along. It is our wrap up, and I am going to take my last owl and these two and make the pillow. So I have to do the pillow. You know, nothing like doing it on the last day, is there? Nope, that's about the way I work sometimes. It's the way I roll, We have two things that are the sort of celebrations for the day. So one is, it is tell a fairy tale day. And I think fairy tales are just like amazing little jewels of stories. Great memories of fairy tales, you know, as a kid. So if you have a quilt that is fairy tale oriented, you know, Snow White or whatever, share that in the group Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. The other is, it is Thermos Bottle Day. Oh yes it is. And guess what? You all know, or maybe you don't, because I've only recently known this, is that the Stanley company, which makes thermoses, is kind of a thing right now. They have, you know, cups and everything. Stanley is just the hot item. So let me just show you something. Back in the day, when I worked in an office, so we're talking, 25, 30 years ago, I bought this Stanley Thermos to take coffee to work because I didn't want to use the coffee pots at the time in our particular office. It was like, I think I'll just bring it from home. And so I have this Stanley. And I thought, oh my gosh, we have not used this in forever because it just really haven't seen a need. But I did order a Stanley cup. I ordered the Luna version. So this Luna version is special issue that has come out, and I guess they had to remake them. They sold out, but they decided to remake one. So I got the red one. It should be here in a few days. When it comes, I will show it to you, and I think that will be the extent of my collection then, will be the original that I got a long time ago and one cup. In red, of course. But then I thought there must be a thermos out there block, a quilt block. And guess what? I found this one. Isn't that stinking cute? It looks a lot like this cup, you know, except for that it has a little handle there, but it is so cute. And you can get that, you can buy that over at the Featherweight Shop. The link is down below my description box. And thank you for using my links. Remember, when you use them, your entire order at that store, I get a very small commission off of it. So every little bit helps. Doesn't cost you any extra to shop with my link, and then you help support me and my small family business, me and Greg. So we do appreciate it. Mwah. So that's a super cute block if you're looking to make a thermos block. I don't know, I might have to make one. So I need to measure what the front of this pillow needs to be so that I can then draft a pattern for the owl with the two little friendship stars. And so how do I measure a pillow? Let me show you what I do. I mean, there's all different ways, I'm sure, but this is how I do it. So I have an old-fashioned tape measure, this kind. That's what I prefer versus like the ones that kind of zip into a unit, you know, like a little holder, and they pull and you know retracts back in. I really like these. I don't know, they're just what I feel comfortable with. So in order to figure out the real size of this pillow, meaning the size I want to work with, I don't really care what the manufacturer says. You know, I need to have what I need to work with. Since I have to go seam to seam, you know, so there's a seam here, right? This seam, I need to go from seam to seam on either end and just take the tape measure. And so that says 26. And then I'm going to add a little bit to it. So I might make it 27 because I've got seam allowance, plus I'm going to quilt it. And so I might even make it 27 and a half wide. And then the other way, yeah, this one has a seam. Do you see there? It has a seam. Occasionally they don't, but this one does. Okay, so seam to seam, this is 17, and so I'll add another 1.5 to make it 18.5. So I'm like 27.5 by 18.5 is what, and I could even do it a little bit bigger if I wanted, because then I could trim it down. I can always trim it down. There's no patchwork going to be on the outside. As you remember, I am doing this owl. I'm doing the owl in the middle and then 2 little stars like this. So that's what I'm doing. So what I have to do is go and take the measurement of these 3 units and then build my patchwork pillow front with sashing on either side, a unit up here, and I can either do sashing on the top and bottom of this to make this whole thing like one, and then make this one and that one. That's probably what I'll do. So I'll make it like 3 vertical strips like this. And then I will cut also a fabric for the backing. And this is going to be white. I'm just going to use my Promise Me white because it's going to go with kind of the red and white things that I have. I think that is the perfect way to handle her. Handle my sweet little owl. Okay, so I'm going to go draft that. So I have my software. Once again, this is software that is no longer available to purchase. But any kind of professional level software will do this. You could probably do it in Electric Quilt. I don't use that, so I don't know. But here is the pillow form, which is 18 by 27. Well, I did it 19 by 28, so I just took it up. I got rid of those ½ inches. This is the owl. Here are the star blocks. And then basically what I have to do, and this is the halfway point. I just sort of gave myself a halfway point. But basically I have to build the, build up so that I'm meeting at the top, if this is how I want to do it. Okay, so it wasn't quite centered. And see, it's not centered. See that? See how? So I've got to figure out. I didn't do the math in advance. You could do the math in advance, but instead, I'm just doing it by the units. Okay, we're still not quite right. So what is this? Oh, it is 7. Okay, we could do, let's see, 7.25. I think that might be what we need. I mean, I could just go ahead and do the math in advance and then I would know what it is. There it is, 7.25. Now I can just get rid of this one because I know that that's what will be over here. If I want to do the unit between the owl, there we go, like this. And then if I'm going to put the same over here, then I need to move this. Do you see I have to move that? But you could do this all on grid paper, which would be just fine. You could do, you just have erasing and everything else. You could also just do it mathematically. So you could just figure it out math-wise. You wouldn't have to do this, but I'm just kind of messing around. What is that? It should be an equals. So I've got something that is, okay, so let me just do 3.5. No, 3.5. Okay, so 3.5 and 3.5. So math-wise, this is all good. I made it a little bit too wide. Fix that. So now I just have this section that's out here on the end, and I can go ahead and figure it out, and they're the same. So good. So that's it. So I just need to take the sizes. So this is like 3 by 19, which means it has to be 3.5 by 19.5. This is 4.5 by 7 1/4. So I have to add a ½ inch, 5 inch by 7 3/4 for cut sizes. These are all finished sizes as if you did the entire patchwork. And so that is it. So I built myself a working document, which is basically how I write all my PDFs that you have, all the patterns that you see. So I had to bring from the full scale. This is actually a full scale program. This is like the size of a quilt. I can do full-size quilts on here. So I have to take this image and I bring it over to a new document, and it doesn't fit on the letter size of a page because it's 18 by 27 inches. So I just basically took this, made a copy, and reduced it down. Oh, I messed it up. So I basically took this, made a copy, and put it in here, you know, and then I took away the color for printing. I don't need that color. And then I just put on the sizes. I just grabbed the sizes from over here, told me what size, and there you go. So now I have a little working document, and that's how I create the graphics. So I have my paper, and I did make a mistake there. I forgot one of the numbers, so I had to fix that because I cut a strip wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. I have plenty. And then here we go. So here are these units: a star unit, an owl unit, and another star unit. You can see I rotated the stars, or I sewed them differently so that they would be opposite, and so I can go either that direction or I could reverse them. I don't think they look that different either way. Look at the little bunny in the, look how cute. So cute. And then I have sashing that will go now in here and here, and then these one on either end. And so that's the pillow. So I did it all in verticals. Here is the front of the pillow. Ta-da! Just like you'd think it would look, right? And so now I'm going to quilt it, and I will put a layer of white, just a white solid back here, and some batting, and I will do the wave stitch and just quilt this up really fast and then make it into the pillow. Yay! So cute, right? So cute. I love the little blue eyes. So I have a bunch of these sort of extra batting pieces. I'll just find the biggest ones and I will use those for the pillow, the widest. So like this one is probably the widest, and then I'll just have to add to it, which will be fine. And that'll be great for the pillow. I'll be able to use this up. Ready to get quilting on her. I'm going to do verticals. And I'll just start in a little bit. I'll just quilt on these lines, and maybe I might not do it too dense. Just, you know, whatever the distance is between here. So that'd be 1.5 inches, because this is, well, this is 2 inches. 2.5 inches. This is 2.5 inches, so it'd be like 1.25 inches. That's probably about, you know, what I'll do. And I will do the wave stitch, which on my Baby Lock Solaris Vision, it is number 2 and 219, and I have it set at 6 and 1.6. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and then I'll show you a finished pillow. Here is the pillow. Ta-da! There. This is a big pillow, right? Oh my goodness. It turned out so cute. Let me just sort of hold it here. There we go. There we go. Look at that. So she's glorious. It all turned out really cute. It's a little bit oversized from the pillowcase, which is what I was expecting. So it's not really squished in here, and I actually kind of like pillows a little bit loose like this. I just feel like it doesn't distort the patchwork that we've done to make it a little bit loose rather than having a super tight pillow. But you know, that's personal choice, whatever you want. And so there we go. It's a big pillow. So now let's take a look at some of your owl quilts. Our first darling owl is from Sealy. I love the blue. Look at her little blue nose. So cute. It's got little bees on the fabric. Delia has 2 of them. Here is her fancy dancy border on the 4 blocks. I love these fabrics. Look at the feather on the one owl. How gorgeous are they? And her second one looks more similar to mine with the dark background, and I love the fabrics again that she's using. So beautiful. Gail is rocking a little brown owl. How sweet is that? How sweet is that? Love the little stick fabric she used. And Janet has some gorgeous brown owls as well. It looks like there might be a little peach in there, a little brown and peach. They are gorgeous, just gorgeous. Jennifer's whole top, beautiful light gray fabric, and she's using my drawing room for the owls. They look awesome. Awesome. Love them. Jennifer has a sweet little brown owl as well, a little golden brown owl with the little blue eyes. Beautiful. Julie's 4 owls are also gorgeous. Love the wings, the striped wing, and then the great big floral on the other one. They are so sweet. Melissa has 3 owls right across there. The black is my fabric line. The drawing room, so beautiful. See, Susan here. Gorgeous, gorgeous greens and purples and turquoise. Oh my goodness, that is a wonderful combination. Looks so good, these owls. And we're going to wrap it up with Vicky's owls. Another one on a gray background. They got little white faces and a lot of beautiful, beautiful gray and black fabrics that she used. A lot. This fun. Must have had fun pulling all those. Maybe a little taupe in there as well. Thank you, everybody, for sewing along with our owls. This has been so much fun. So much fun. Such a fabulous job. Everybody's been making wonderful owls, and I'm sure some of you are out there still making them. Be sure you share them in the group Quilt Along with Pat Sloan over at Facebook. Okay, second half of what's in that basket of my quilt tops. Let's go. This is the free pattern from my Birdsong fabric line where I had the panel. You all remember that. They had the panel from the Birdsong line, and then these were the panels every so often here. And there was a panel in blue and blue parts of the fabric line, and then the pinks and the greens. And so the blue one is quilted and all finished and actually hung at the show, the trade show. But the pink one, I didn't get quilted. We did that one during the Quilt Along. So I don't know. There's a group that is looking, that we're working with now, that is taking tops to hand quilt them and then use them for fundraisers. And so a few of these tops I'm going to see if they would be interested in having. This is another side project from the Splendid Sampler Quilt Along, which was 2 books, huge international quilt along, hosted with me and my friend Jane Davidson, who's in Australia. It was a huge, 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 huge big deal, 100 blocks for each of the quilt alongs. And so this was the first block of the first quilt along, which is mine, the heart. And we started on February 14th on Valentine's Day. And so I have this sort of memory quilt of a bunch of the heart blocks with my fabric lines. A lot of them are my fabric lines, plus some others like Jane sent me. The koala fabric, do what makes you happy, that is my fabric. My batiks I had. So yeah, so it's kind of a memory quilt, and I think I will have it quilted at some point and keep it for myself for a while before I send it on to a new home. So the light is starting to fade a little bit. This is what I have left. As I've been showing you the ones, I folded them and put them up on their new home on the shelf. And so these 2 are huge. These 2 are huge. That's the backing of this one. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What the heck is that? Oh, 6. Yeah, that one's small. But that's the one I don't think is done. I know it's not done. I have a little bit more I want to do on it. Okay, so let me just try to get these done. This is my version of one of the quilt alongs for the Aurifil Designer of the Month that I hosted for 10 years for Aurifil. And each of the blocks was designed by a different designer, and they made their block and sent it to me to put into a quilt for Aurifil, and then I made it in an alternate fabric. And this is one of the ones that I haven't had quilted. I really love it still. Love it so much. So I do want to get that one quilted. See, most of the things that are in this basket here are things that I wanted to keep. So far, there's only 2 of them that I'm thinking I'm ready to have them go. They can go as tops to somebody else, but the others I'll quilt and enjoy them for a while before I will move them on to new homes. So this is definitely one I want to get quilted. And the backing. So I have backing for it. I don't know if it's cut proper, or if it's just the yardage. This was, Trade Winds by Lily Ashburn for Moda quite a long time ago. There's no date on there. But yeah, I already got backing for it. And another one of my Aurifil Designer of the Months where I did it along with the designer's blocks. These were super, super creative. It was an amazing group of designers. I got to do this. Look at the swans. This one I also love immensely. I did the layouts also. The designers just did blocks, and I did a custom layout for 12 years each time for the quilt along. It was 1 block a month. They're still all on the Aurifil website, so you can go check them out. If you have somebody who loves bridges, look at this. Look at that bridge block. Isn't that incredible? The designers just knocked it out of the park doing this one. And there is my backing. Just a small print from my fabric line over there. Okay, one of my older fabric lines. Love this one too. Okay, also going to get it quilted. Going to do it. When I was teaching fusible applique by machine on the road, this was one of my samples for Mama's Garden. So you have the original, then I had this one completed, and then I also had just a background. It was a whole workshop on color and then applique, so it was super fun. So this actually needs a border, so it's not complete, so it does need a border treatment, and then it can be completed. So it will go on the shelf to do that. So this is a big one. Down, 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 up, up, up. So this was the Christmas fig. It was a quilt along I did. I did the red and green one. I'm moving back, 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 back. I did the red and green one, and then at the same time I did this one in the blues. The fabrics are laundry basket, one of her prior lines, plus some other things thrown in. But yeah, I love it. This is one I'm keeping to use for something really, really special. Probably one of my niece or nephew's weddings. I will probably quilt it as a wedding gift. So I'm holding on to this. Another super large quilt done a long time ago. I hand did all the hexagons in the center. The 4 hexagons in the corners are all vintage blocks. The quilt is 76 by 76, 86, I'm sorry, 86 by 86 big. So it could be, be on a bed size if I wanted it to. And yeah, I kept this, I don't know. It might be ready to be done for somebody else. Might be ready to move on to somebody else. It was probably made in 1998, something like that. This last piece is a story quilt that I started probably in, 1980 or something like that. Let me open it up. My grandma, Nana, was a telephone operator, and she worked for Ma Bell, and she kept peppermints, these red and white peppermints, in her big black purse. And I wanted to tell that story of, her dumping the peppermints in the purse, and we would always be able to get peppermints out as a kid. But I always wanted to put the words Nana's Peppermints somewhere like around on the big border, like I did for that, I love you to the moon and back, some sort of big letters. And I never have done that. I had to draft the peppermints, draft out the purse. And it's hand appliqued. The peppermints are hand appliqued on here. So they're cut away so that you don't have shadowing of any of that fabric in the background. So it's one that's super special to me, and I will eventually do something with it. But it's not on my agenda right now, which is fine. Fine, one day I will pull it out. And I do have in this bag, I do have like the papers where I drafted the peppermints. There, like this folder. I have this great big, do you see in here? I'm not going to open it, but this is a paper that I kind of drafted everything out on this big pieces of paper. So that's kind of cool. And I kept this as a backing. I don't know if I'm going to use it or not, but I'll leave it in there for now. And then there's like another peppermint for a label, an extra one. So this is it. The basket is done. I got to fold it. All the rest are on the shelf, but the basket is empty. This is a tote that I use to take the Splendid Sampler quilts to different vendors at a show when they were showing it and hanging it in their booth. And these were specialty labels that we had available for people. So I just sort of stitched that to the outside of the bag. Okay, so that's it. Now I can put other things in here, pretty things. Well, it is dark and dreary today for the final, which is why I tried to film everything the other day. So here are all the tops. This is all the tops except for two. One is down at the end because it's going to go to the long armor. It's on the shelf up there. And then the other is in my studio because I kind of forgot about it until like the other day. And so I pulled that out. So I'm really happy to have gone through all of those tops in the basket, got them all folded and stored, and the basket, I still haven't put anything in it yet, but I will. We were talking about this, and our ambassador Melissa went and counted her tops, and she's a brave soul. A brave soul you are, Melissa. And she could tell you if she wants. I'm not telling you what she has. But I thought I would count mine because, I rarely count I rarely count anything. I really don't enjoy counting stuff. But I did. I have a dozen. 12 tops, which includes this one that needs just a little border around it. And I will show you this one on another day so that you can see all of it because it is one of my favorites that I really need to have it finished. So a dirty dozen. I have a dirty dozen number of tops. Okay, my friends, thank you everybody for sewing along with my besties pattern. Wendy Shepherd. We all love Wendy's things here so much, and she is a beautiful designer, a gorgeous person, my good friend. And so you did beautiful owls. I'm so excited to add the red and white pillow to my collection. Yay! So I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. I will see you online.